Join me today as I attend a ceramic workshop and chat to you about my experience with creativity, burnout, and motherhood. My journey with ceramics began in 2018 and it's been shaping the way I see creativity ever since. From the years of 2020 to 2022, I had a small business where I made functional and sculptural pottery, both hand-built and wheel-thrown. Things were going well, my Instagram account was growing, I'd done a couple of successful markets, and my website that I'd worked really hard on was up and running. Towards the end of 2022, I went traveling, and when I got back, I just couldn't bring myself to touch clay again. I did try a couple of times, but I found myself coming up with all kinds of excuses to avoid making anything. I was just done. I wasn't sure what was going on in my mind, and I wasn't ready to think about it. Fast forward to today, after years of not making anything, moving houses, and having a baby, I've had time to process and reflect on what stopped me from creating. Ultimately, I think it was the combination of harsh negative self-talk, imposter syndrome, and constant comparison that led me to burnout entirely.
This dowel is just bigger than a candle will be.
I used to think creativity meant constantly being in motion, filling shelves, churning out mugs, and feeding the algorithm. I thought creativity had to look a certain way, fit a certain box, otherwise I just wasn't doing it right. I realized this isn't actually true at all. There are infinite ways for creativity to stay alive within us. For me right now, that looks like being present, remembering how to play, and moving inwards to focus on what actually brings me joy. During my postpartum period, I continually believed that my creativity was diminished in some way, that I was missing or lacking something, or I no longer had the luxury to play with creativity at all. But it wasn't until recently that I came to realize that the creative forces within me are actually stronger than ever before. I noticed that I'm more committed to seeking opportunities to create. I spend more time thinking and dreaming and getting inspired. Despite the sleep deprivation and tiredness that comes with early motherhood, my creative spirit feels alive and vibrant.
So it's been a few weeks since I got back from the ceramic workshop, and I've picked up my pieces and I just wanted to share what they look like. So this is the single candelabra, the single candle holder. I think it's come out really well. Ceramics has a way of making any piece look really unique, and I don't know, I think it's just a really forgiving medium. It looks cool no matter what in my eyes. The only thing is I think this central part is not deep enough. So I got this hand dipped candle, and as you can see, it doesn't really stay. So maybe I could use it for a really tiny tea light candle. I'm not sure, but this reminds me of a character from Beauty and the Beast. I'll insert a photo if you maybe you know what I'm talking about. And the bigger one looks like this. I used like a almost iridescent blue shade over the brown clay, and it looks really interesting. The sort of mix of the blue and the brown, and it's got some white bits as well. This holds the candle a little better. Maybe once the candle's actually lit, and I was told to drip wax into the base so that it sort of helps the candle stay up. I'll give it a go and see if that helps. But yeah, these two are the finished pieces. In terms of the actual workshop, I can't speak highly enough about it. It was literally the most magical environment. It was hard to get a bad shot, as you probably saw from the previous clips. It was just so aesthetically set up, so warm and cozy and inviting. I think the instructor Hilary was really generous with both her knowledge and her time, because the class was initially advertised as 3 hours, but I left about 4 hours in, and more than half the class was still there, and there was just no rush at all for us to get out. Like, that is the type of environment that she created, and that's exactly what I need. So when it comes to anxiety, negative self-talk, burnout, all of that, I can't say that I'm cured, I'm healed, and everything is fine. That is something that is still an ongoing thing for me. For example, even in the class, I kept sort of feeling like I was too behind, or maybe my work looked too much like someone else's, or not enough like everyone else's, that it was just too out there. Either way, the critical voice in my head had something to say. And I guess the difference between the old me and the current me is that in the past I would have tried to just push it down and ignore it and just keep going without actually acknowledging or addressing it. And that's exactly what I've been trying to do currently, which is acknowledge that it's there, recognize that it is an anxious thought, and just because I've had that thought, that doesn't necessarily mean it's true, and then challenge it. Tell myself what I would like to hear and not let my negative talk be the driver of this entire experience. Research shows that nervous system regulation plays a really big role in whether or not this negative self-talk will derail your creativity. And this has been a priority of mine over the last month or so. Sorry, someone just started playing Christmas songs, and that's pretty distracting. The more you're able to regulate your nervous system, the less likely it is that when you do have these anxious thoughts, or when you do have that harsh voice in your head wake up, it's less likely that it will cause you to stop or affect your work. Nervous system regulation is going to be a really big focus of mine for 2026. What I plan to do, or what I've done already, is made a list of all the things that I think for me are minimal stress or no stress activities. And I want to try and do at least 1 or 2 of these every single week. So for example, for me, that would be yoga, meditation, Pilates. What else did I'm getting a massage or a facial, or journaling, and affirmations as well. Some of these obviously require more time or money, and other ones, they're quite easily doable from home for 15-20 minute session, like journaling, for example. So I'm going to get a wall planner, hang it up on my wall, and instead of using it to plan out what I will do, because I generally use my phone to do that, I'm going to write down what I did do already, so I can keep track of how long it's been since I've done something, and just feel that sense of accomplishment when I do achieve that throughout the weeks. So that's my plan, to focus on that, and I think that will really benefit other areas of my life as well, not just creativity, just in general. Lessening that critical talk in my head, reducing my anxiety, reducing my just hypervigilance in day-to-day life, and feeling less irritable. The list, I could talk about this for ages, but we'll stay on track. Research also shows that repeated play-based creative experiences, where you're just focusing on being present and being curious rather than the output, rather than what you're actually producing, can help with symptoms of burnout and anxiety around that as well. A great way to do this is through a workshop like the one I did. I think it's really helpful to have that gentle guidance from a teacher, and there's just something about doing this in a group. The energy's just different. You're just forced to feel a little calmer, at least in my case, rather than getting caught up too much in my own thoughts. If that doesn't work for you, even just setting a timer for 15-20 minutes and giving yourself a small task, a creative task at home, and doing it that way could be an option as well. I think that's about it from me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had a lovely Christmas and a happy new year as well. I know my videos have been quite irregular and there's been really large gaps between my videos, but I hope that in the new year it can become a little bit more regular and you can expect to see my face a bit more than you have in 2025. Also, leave a comment. I would love to hear about any creative workshops or experiences that you guys have experienced lately, and any other sort of intention or goal setting for 2026. I love that kind of stuff. So yeah, thank you for watching.